Welcome everyone to Commerce Mortgage's REALPro webinar entitled How to Make Money with Commerce REALPro. My name is Coy Paeltz and I'm the Director of Development for REALPro, and today I have Lori assisting me. Everyone on the webinar has entered as muted. We keep everyone muted in order to keep the audio quality from being interrupted by phones ringing and dogs barking, etc. Lori and I will play dual roles on the webinar. I'm going to provide the content and Lori's going to keep me on my toes, letting me know if we have any questions that come in. We want you to leave the webinar feeling good about what you learned today regarding REALPro, and if you have any questions throughout the webinar, please type them in the question box. Lori will view the questions and she'll let me know when one comes in from the audience, and we will try to answer all of the questions that come in today, so don't be afraid to ask. Commerce Mortgage hosts 3 REALPro webinars a month: REALPro Basics, REALPro Features, and How to Make Money with REALPro. We commonly refer to these trainings as REALPro 101, 201, and 301. Today, again, everyone is on the How to Make Money with Commerce REALPro, or REALPro 301, and this webinar is for REALPro users that have already entered in their first listings, have signed up, and and really want to learn how to start making money with REALPro. We'll cover several different topics, including how to assist realtors who are looking for buyers, who are just looking for sellers, and we'll do that by showing them how to market HUD Homes, for sale by owners, pocket listings, go to builders, etc. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I am going to pull up a user here, and it looks like I'm going to pick a user that's logged into the system here recently, looks like last week. And I'm going to log into their account to show you guys a few things. And I don't know if Juanita is on the call today or not, but I'm going to go ahead and log in as Juanita Gonzalez. And this is what you guys' back panel looks like. So when you log in, you're going to see, hopefully everybody has logged in before and has added a few listings already. But as you can see here, here's where we add listings, and here are our active listings. And I'm going to start off by showing you guys how to market your active listings. One of the things that one of our most recent changes we've had at Commerce REALPro is Craigslist. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with Craigslist. Craigslist they dropped a bomb on everyone a few weeks ago, and they do not allow us to give you the same type of pretty HTML that we used to give you. It kind of made it a little tough for everyone, and everybody was kind of sent scrambling, but I have what we feel is a pretty good offering from the limited fields that Craigslist allows us to use. Craigslist is still a great tool, and I think I read something the other day that a very high percentage of real estate agents, when they market on Craigslist, there's a lot of traffic that goes to their personal websites only because of Craigslist. And I believe I heard that number was 40-something% of realtors' traffic that goes to their personal website, not their company website, but their personal website, comes directly from Craigslist, which is pretty amazing. So what I'm going to do here are Juanita's active listings, and I'm going to go ahead and log into my Craigslist account as well. So give me 1 second here, I'll pull that up. Second. All right, so what we would do to market in Craigslist, let's go ahead and pull up her first listing here on Everett Road. And we are going to copy this HTML just like we did before. And we can take a preview of it here. This is what it's actually going to look like. So we're not allowed to give you guys pictures anymore. We're not allowed to provide you actual links, but we still can use larger fonts, and we can give you guys colors. So that's what we've done here to give you the most professional-looking Craigslist post that we possibly can, and we also have your information here as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to view this listing website for this property we're getting ready to start marketing on Craigslist. As that pulls up, here we go, and this just looks like a commercial piece of land. So I'm actually going to save the picture because we do have to, we will have to upload our own pictures now, unfortunately. So let's save this. All right. So if you guys were going to market this on Craigslist, as you can see my screen here, I'm logged into my Craigslist account. I'm going to go housing offered. And then I'm going to do real estate by broker. And then I'm going to click a posting title. So for the posting title, I'm going to do great land opportunity. And again, we didn't have to type as much before than what we do now. We do have to type a lot more information, and I'm just going to go ahead and put in a zip code, and then you would want to go ahead and put in your price. What did we have for a price for this property? Let's see, it's $45,000. And the housing type, this would just be land. And then for the posting description, we're going to go ahead and paste what we have here that we copied from our back office. And then we're going to click continue. And then we're going to click the photo that we want to upload. And then click Done with Images. And as you can see here, this is what our Craigslist ad, this is the preview, so this is what it's going to look like. It's going to start up here, you know, the subject line is going to have the price, and it's just going to have great land opportunity, and then we're going to have all of the information on where someone can go to get more information. If they follow this link and we tell them to copy and paste this link into their browser, if they would like to go visit the website that we have that has more information. We also have Juanita's information so they can call her here, and again we have it, her information right here as well, because obviously you know, we're trying to get somebody to contact Juanita on this property. And then, but we also show them a virtual tour, which I believe this one will be a very short virtual tour since it only has one image, but somebody can, you know, if they wanted to see a virtual tour of the property, they can do this. So this is our solution, and this is something brand new. So we just launched this late last week to fix the Craigslist HTML problem, and so this is a great way for you guys to market your listings. Now, since we're already on Craigslist and we've kind of touched that topic, there are two, besides marketing your own properties, there are two other great reasons to market homes on Craigslist, and I'm going to start off talking about for sale by owners. For sale by owners are a great source of leads, especially if you're a realtor that's looking to get some listings. This is a for sale by owners are a great target audience. Obviously, they want to sell their house and they are not ready to list with a real estate agent yet. And so what you can do is, if you can go to Craigslist, which I'm just going to go to Craigslist.com, and then I'm going to go to real estate for sale, and then if you notice up here in the top, I can select I only want to see real estate for sale by owner. So hopefully this means that agents should not be marketing in this area, even though they do sometimes. But this is a great place to start, and you can actually open up a few tabs here, and you would find out which homes that you might be interested in selling. So you would open this up, and this looks like we have a 90-acre farm here that somebody's looking to sell. And this looks like it's probably a not a real estate agent marketing this property. So what you can do is you can contact this person, and the best way to contact them is you can press this reply button up here, and the great message, or one of the best messages that you can send them is, I may have a buyer interested in your property. Would you be willing to pay a 3% commission if I bring a buyer to you? Almost always they will reply back and say, yes, I will pay you a 3% commission for bringing a buyer. And then that kind of opens up the line of communication where you can start talking to them and say, you know what, that's great. I would also like to help market your property to help you find a buyer. And you can do that by using the Commerce REALPro system. So what you can do is you can tell them, say, hey, you know what, please follow this link. And let's go back to Juanita's webpage here. So let's, second, here we go. At the top of every one of your pages, we have a Feature My Home request. So whether you're on a single property website or if you're on Juanita's main website, we are going to have this link up here that says Feature My Home. So what you can do is you can tell them to go to your web page and click on the Feature My Home link, or if you want, you can just give them the exact link. So what you can do is I right-clicked on this link and opened it up in a new tab, and you can send them this link, which is just your website / feature request. And so say, you know what, sign up here, and I will make sure I get your home marketed on Trulia and Zillow and HotPads, and I'll create a website for it. I will create the YouTube video. Everything that the Commerce REALPro system does, you're going to give to them. If they want to use our call capture service, they can do that as well. So you can basically give them all of the same tools all the tools that Commerce REALPro offers, except you're just not getting them on the MLS. But the thing is if you get this property out to Trulia properly and Zillow properly and all of the other websites, and you're doing some marketing, most likely the people when somebody's interested in this house, they're going to see your marketing and not really the for sale by owners marketing. So that buyer is going to be calling you. And so this is a great tool for you to hopefully get a buyer for that for sale by owner. But we'll just say you don't. We'll just say, you know what, nobody's interested in this property. That's still a great thing for you guys to do because you've opened up a line of communication with that for sale by owner. And when they are ready to list, guess who one of the first people they're going to talk to about listing their home? It's going to be you. So this is a great way for you to market to for sale by owners, and you can pick up some buyers and sellers by using this tool. And so this is all by just going to Craigslist and picking out the homes that are listed for sale by owner. Another way you can use Craigslist to make some money for you is to go to market HUD Homes. And I'm going to actually go to the HUDHomestore.com, and this is where you can find all of the HUD homes in your area. And there are several different rules that you guys have to follow when you're marketing HUD homes, but for the most part, you just have to make sure that you're not advertising that you're the listing agent for the property. So you just want to make sure that you never come across or you try to infer to someone that you're the listing agent. But as long as your brokerage has a NAID number, which is actually what you need to place a bid on a HUD home, you'll be able to market them on your Commerce REALPro website, and you can also post them to Craigslist. I'm going to go ahead and search for HUD homes in my area, or I just picked Ohio. And then obviously if I'm going to be doing some work, I'd probably rather not be marketing the cheapest homes I could find. I'd rather market some ones that are more expensive. So I'm going to click here. I am in Cincinnati, so I'm going to we see this one here in Cincinnati. This would be a great home for someone to start marketing. And so what you can do is you can actually take this property, and the agents that are the most successful with this, actually every time a HUD home pops up in their area, they actually go out and even take their own pictures, and they shoot their own video with their iPhone. I have a guy here in Cincinnati that's exclusively, all of his business comes from marketing HUD homes and marketing on Craigslist, and every time a new one pops out within a certain radius of his office, he goes out there and he takes pictures the very first day. And he does a lot of marketing on these HUD homes, and he gets a ton of buyers from it. So what he does is he just takes all these pictures, and he comes back and he uploads it to his website. And that's what you can do. And then after you get it on your website, you would go through the exact same process that we did when we posted it to Craigslist. And the best part about HUD homes is, for the most part, they're all priced very competitively, and that means that people are interested in them. You can actually market them as a HUD home. You cannot, one of the rules is you cannot say that it's a foreclosure. That's something you're not allowed to talk about, but you can say that it's a HUD home, and it's a great price, and people typically realize that. If you also, you can actually change the HTML that we give you. If you wanted to add some other, if you wanted to add some more text in here, you can actually, here is where we have the property description. You can add your own text, let them know. They can also contact you if they want to be notified anytime a new HUD home, if they want a HUD home list, you can give that to them as a real estate agent, and that kind of entices the people on Craigslist to contact you. So you can change that up a little bit if you want. Another great thing about the HUDHomestore.com is you can actually sign up for your own account. If you sign up as the public, you can get your own username and password, and basically what you can do is every time a HUD home pops up in a particular county or a radius from your office, you can be notified. So you have two options. You can go to the HUD Home Store website every single day, or you can, they'll email you to let you know when a new HUD home has popped up in your area. So that's a great time for you to start marketing that home. Do we have any questions so far, Lori?
Yes, we do have a question. I'm just pulling it up right now.
Okay.
It says, do you have to take your own pictures, or can you use the pictures that are on the HUD site?
That would be something that you need to ask your particular board, so that rule varies from area to area. So that's something that you need to check on. So I can't give a universal answer to that, but what I can tell you is for most people on the West Coast, and I believe that's where most of our callers are today, is PIMCO runs, there are 5 different regions that run HUD homes, and here is a place that you can get some information. I'm actually going, I believe it's in their FAQ, the biggest rules that you have to follow for professionals. And let's see, it says, I'm not a listing broker, but I would like to market HUD homes. Is this allowed? So as you can see here, here are 9 rules that are very important that you should be following. And again, you guys can look this up for yourself at hudpimco.com /information/FAQ. So, but yeah, here are some good rules, and then you can also contact them to see if there are any additional rules, and you can ask them about using photos. So, and sometimes this even varies from MLS to MLS, so it's not just HUD. Your MLS could have certain rules on this. So please contact them. I don't want anyone getting in trouble, but I can tell you the agents who market to for sale by owners and market HUD homes using Craigslist can be very successful. Again, it's not an easy button, so everything doesn't happen automatically, but if you take a little bit of time each morning, and maybe you take the first 30 minutes of your day, and this is what you do is you market on Craigslist, I can guarantee you will be very successful. A tip when you're posting to Craigslist: you don't want to just go into Craigslist one day and start posting 20 listings. That's a bad idea, because Craigslist will do something called ghosting. And what ghosting means is you're going to do all the work, and you're going to try to get that property uploaded, and you're going to upload pictures, and you're going to copy and paste in that HTML, and you're going to click publish, and you're going to think it's published, and Craigslist is going to send you an email like it's published, but it doesn't show up. So that is not a good thing. So what I will tell you is make sure that you only do a few of these a day, 4 or 5 of these a day. If you can do them at home versus at your office, that's probably even a little better, just because if you have a lot of agents posting to Craigslist from your office, then Craigslist is going to look at that as the same person just keeps posting to Craigslist. And like I said, they will ghost your listings, meaning you'll think that it's posted, but if you actually go to Craigslist and search, it won't show up. So the most successful agents we have actually post from home, and they only do about 4 or 5 a day. And so hopefully, and they don't renew them. Like, you should not renew them every single day or try to do it throughout the day. Every few days is a good time to go in and renew your listings to make sure that they're back on top. So that's the best advice I can give you guys for posting to Craigslist. So if we don't have any more questions about that, another tip that I'll give you guys on marketing the HUD homes is, you can use, you can print out flyers. You can't, and you can actually use some of the call capture signs. You can place them places. You just can't place them in the yard of the HUD home. But if you wanted to, the agent here that is very successful in Cincinnati, he actually has his own signs, and he actually handwrites, the signs that says, HUD home, property here. Now he does have to have his disclaimer information on it with his contact information, but he'll just put up random signs, throughout the neighborhood, maybe to the entrance of a subdivision, and he gets a lot of phone calls just by putting those signs up. So again, it's work. So it's not like I'm giving you something here that you don't have to do anything and people are just going to automatically start calling you. But this is a process that you can go through, and I can tell you the first 45 days or so when he was doing this, he had over $1 million worth of homes under contract. So that's, even though it's some work, that's a nice chunk of change to be able to get over $1 million worth of homes under contract. So the next thing, moving on from that, the next thing I really want to talk about with you guys is Trulia. So I don't know if you guys have noticed recently, but every home that you guys post on Commerce REALPro is now being featured on Trulia. This is huge. We've kind of did it secretly the last few weeks, but let me show you guys what happens here. I'm just going to go to Danville, and if we start scrolling down here on these lists, because all of these homes here are actually featured homes, even though it says Trulia is suggesting those for you. But as you can see here, we have this property here, featured by Commerce REALPro. If you as an agent wanted to feature your own property, I know everybody on the call, I know the accounts cost $9.95 to have a Commerce REALPro account, but if you wanted to feature your property on Trulia, your first property is going to cost you $19.99. So that's right there, you're already saving a ton of money by using the Commerce REALPro system. If you wanted to feature 3 properties, it's going to cost you $39.99. And then if you had 10 properties, it's going to cost you $69.99. We're going to feature all of your properties for you. So this is a huge feature that we have just implemented into Commerce REALPro the last few weeks. And again, this is the first time I've been announcing it to agents. And so what it does is Lewis Bishop is actually, the real estate agent here. He's the only person that's getting ad space on these featured homes. Featured homes also get 5 times more leads than unfeatured homes. So this is a great deal for you guys, and we're really excited about being able to feature all of your homes on Trulia. What we did is we went to Trulia, and we're like, you know what, we would like, what kind of deal can we get for featuring, several thousand homes? And so basically they have featured these homes for us, and Commerce REALPro is paying for all of the marketing. So this is a great deal for you guys. This alone, if our system didn't do anything else, just getting all of your homes featured on Trulia is amazing. So I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that on the call, and that, or if we had anybody that's on the call today that wasn't signed up, this reason alone is more than enough to to sign up for the Commerce REALPro system. So do we have any questions on featuring? Anybody?
I don't have any questions that have come in.
Nothing? Okay.
No.
Nope. That's good. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but I guess I just can't stress enough on how awesome this is that we were able to strike this deal with Trulia. Hopefully, in the coming months, we would like to do something very similar with Zillow. We are in talks with them, but it was an easy process with Trulia. So we're excited to let everybody know about that.
Now we just had a question come in.
Way that if you guys wanted to. Okay.
The question was, will REALPro ever have access to the local MLS system?
So it depends. What MLS are you part of?
It wasn't listed on there. This is from Janice. Janice, I'm going to unmute you so that you can talk to Coy directly. Janice.
Part of Metro List.
Metro List? Okay.
Yeah.
And in what state is that?
Colorado.
Colorado. I believe MetroList they have converted part of, is MetroList the one that is going from an IDX feed to a RETS feed, or they're making a big change, I believe, correct?
We just went from a system called Prime Access to Matrix.
Correct. And the reason I know that is because we've been trying to get set up with them for a long time, and they keep telling us that we have to wait. But I think we actually might have a different solution with you guys actually within the next probably week. So starting next week, we're going to have a way to where, because what we want to do is we would like to be able to give you IDX search sites.
Yeah.
So that would be our goal in getting things set up directly with your MLS, and that is something that we are working on. But in the meantime, I know we don't have great coverage for you guys, so getting your listings in has been a little more difficult than some other areas. But because of that, next week we actually have a form that you guys will fill out. You'll be able to fill out, and your broker can sign up. And about 7 days after your broker fills out this form, we will have access to all of your listings. So we can actually, we'll have great coverage with your MLS, but it'll only be your broker's feed. And so you'll be able to populate your properties really easily, and probably before the end of the year, we'll even give you the option of anytime you have a new listing, we will be able to automatically populate it into your account for you. We have 430 MLSs coming online next week, so which is huge.
Yeah.
And but that's the process. Each time your brokerage will have to fill out a form, and basically they'll just have to opt in to say, yes, I'd like to send send their listings as part of the List Hub network, and they would be sending their listings to Commerce REALPro. So we're really excited about that. We do want to get set up with your MLX because eventually we would like to give you IDX search sites, but I think this is a great alternative in the meantime, and it's something that's a lot better than what you have right now.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
So.
Thank you.
Yep. Another way for you guys to use the Commerce REALPro system is you can actually market this to builders. And we've had several different real estate agents that have been trying to get hooked up with builders. For the last few years even, we had one person that said that he's visited this builder monthly for the last several years, couldn't get a chance, and when he showed them the Commerce REALPro system, he finally was able to convince them that they should give him a shot. And so I encourage you guys to go let builders know about this product. The things that have been successful, with builders is our call capture system, because we send you guys free signs. If everybody isn't familiar with call capture are 800 sign writers that says on the top of the sign, it says for 24-hour information, call this number, and it has a property extension there. And from there, they can put that sign out in front of their home, and anybody who calls will immediately capture their caller ID, even if it's blocked, and we're going to text you, the real estate agent, to let them know that somebody called immediately. So even most of the time before they hang up the telephone, you're going to get a text message letting you know that somebody is sitting in front of one of your properties and they have called. So that is a great feature to offer builders, because builders do like that. And I haven't really, nobody's done it yet because we just offered it, but this Trulia featuring. What builder wouldn't want to have their properties featured on Trulia for free? So that's kind of another no-brainer. A builder should want you to do that for them. We also have, the flyer system that we've given you guys in your back office. You can give access, to the back office to your builder, and your builder can go in and create their own flyers if they wanted to have different flyers for their property. So that's another great feature that we give you guys. If you pass that along to your builder, that's huge. Speaking of the call capture system, so what you would do if you wanted to use call capture is you would go to your dashboard in your back office and you would click the call capture button. Again, I don't think this Juanita here does not have any extensions, but we have several different ways for you guys to order sign writers. So the first way is you can just request signs. That means you want one of our pre-printed signs, and so you would click this request signs link, and then you would let us know how many you wanted, and we will send some signs out to your loan officer. So your loan officer will actually be the one handing them to you, but we'll make sure we get your loan officer some signs. If you don't want to wait for us to ship you some signs, or maybe you just want to have signs that are printed up to have a little bit different message, that's not a problem either. We set up the system to be very flexible for you guys. And so what you can do is, I just clicked the back button. You can actually search for extensions. So if you wanted to find out which extensions were available, you would just click search extensions, and you would say, you know what, you have to be below 5,000, because all of the signs that we have printed up for us are above 5,000, so everything below is for you guys to create your own signs. And you just say, you know what, I want signs, or signs 2,000 through 2010 available. You could do that. You could click search extensions, and it's checking right now. It's like, look, all of these extensions are available, so you can actually add them. I'm going to go ahead and add a few, even though this isn't my account. I'm going to go ahead and add these 3. Now, we've had agents, you know, some agents we have, they get these extensions and they don't actually even have signs printed out. What they do is they use these in their print media, you know, so they might do an advertisement. We had one person actually put our 800 number, our toll-free number here, with an extension. He was using this in his Craigslist ads because he found that people were more likely to call, or he thought they would be more likely to call if they, you know, he told them they could call for a free recorded message about this property. So what Juanita could do here is she would, she now has these extensions available to her. She can add a property. So here are all of her properties that she has. And I'm just going to click her first one for now. And what we're doing is we're adding this property, we're associating it with that extension. Extension 2000, I believe, is the one that I chose. So now if somebody calls in to our 800 number and they dial 2000, immediately we're going to send a text message to Juanita with the caller of this, you know, whoever called, and we're also going to send Juanita an email to let her know that somebody called, so she has record of it. So if she didn't get the text message, she can, you know, it will also be in her email, and it's also going to be in her back office as a lead. If she wanted to change this, you know, because what we do is we take the description on the single property website and we transcribe it into a computerized voice. So some people think that's fine. Some people say, you know what, I'd like to record my own message. That's not a problem. If you wanted to record your own message for this property, they can call into the toll-free number. You would enter the extension, and then you would press 9. So 9 typically isn't an option, but if you press 9, and then we also give each agent a 4-digit code, and that's to make sure that agents don't randomly pick the wrong extension and change the, you know, the message for someone else's property. And so then you enter in your 4-digit code and you can record your own greeting. So if you want to, you know, personalize the greeting, this is the great way to do it. Maybe you just, you know, you don't really want to call in, but you want to, you know, this is the description on the website, and maybe you just want it to say something different, but you don't mind the computerized voice. You can actually change the description here. You can type in a different message, and this will automatically take whatever you type here, we'll transcribe it into a computerized voice, and we'll play it when somebody calls. And then lastly, you know, if you maybe you have a team and you have different agents, you want to get different text messages for different homes. So you have your default call capture number here and your default text message number here. But maybe you would like these phone calls to get routed or texted to a different phone number, so you can actually change on each individual property. You can tell us where you want the call to go. If somebody, you know, presses 2 to be notified that they'd like to be connected with the real estate agent, you know, this is the number we are going to forward the call to, and this is the number we're going to send the text message to. So you know, you can customize this to work pretty much however you want. If anybody has any questions on it, you know, basically we have a, I believe we have a video in your back office as well, or you can always you know, give the support line a call. And as you can see here, we have a support number, which is the 888 number up here, or you can email support as well. Typically, you know, we try to answer support calls as fast as we can, but when you call or email support, Basically, we'll try to get to you quickly, but sometimes it can take as much as 24 hours. So please be a little patient if you have any problems. Do we have any questions on that?
No questions posting.
Lori?
No questions are posting.
No questions? Okay. So those are, that basically covers everything that I wanted to cover today on how to make money with Commerce REALPro. I didn't know if we had any other questions on the system on, and it doesn't have to be related to what we talked about. If anybody has any other questions, now is the time to ask. And again, I showed you guys the support email. And Lauren is most likely the person you will talk to if you email support or call this 800 phone number here. And if everybody would like to know if their MLS, I know I talked about it a little bit ago on ListHub, if you would like to know if your MLS is going to be one of the 430 that we are adding, you can actually go to this link here, and it's listhub.com/broker-MLS-list, and you can actually look up all of the different MLSs that we will be adding next week. So as you can see here, here is MetroList for Colorado. So if we don't have any other questions, our next REALPro webinar is going to be scheduled for December 10th at 10 a.m. Pacific. It is the Commerce REALPro Basics webinar, or REALPro 101. And this webinar is intended for realtors who are new to the Commerce REALPro system or just need a refresher on the basics. This webinar will provide a system overview of the Commerce REALPro and how to log in, create your profile, and enter in your first listing. If you're a current REALPro user, you'll automatically receive an invitation to all Commerce REALPro webinars via email. If you didn't receive the one today, please check in your spam, because I know that I sent out a link for this one first thing this morning. You can also find a schedule of all of our webinars located on the Commerce REALPro site at commercerealpro.com, and I will go ahead and show you guys where that is. Go ahead and log out. On our training calendar. So when you go to commercerealpro.com, you can click training calendar, and you will be able to see when the next Commerce REALPro webinar is. And Commerce Mortgage provides ongoing support for REALPro, and we have a team dedicated just to supporting all of our realtor partners with the REALPro training, implementation, and success. Your Commerce Mortgage loan officer can be your first line of support for REALPro information, and as I said earlier, I'm the Director of Development for REALPro, and I'm responsible for managing the technical aspect of REALPro, such as software updates and implementing new features and enhancements for the REALPro system. If you have any questions regarding REALPro, again, your loan officer's first, or you can email the support at commercerealpro.com. And so on behalf of Commerce Mortgage, Lori and I want to thank you for attending today, and hopefully everybody has a great Thanksgiving.